and thank you for tuning in to the AAU TV Mid-Week news coming to you from the headquarters of the Association of African Universities in Accra, Ghana. My name is Lydia Nyame. With me in the studio are
Jemima, Deladem, Dotsey.
And my name is Agyemang, Okyere, Darko.
And now the headlines on higher education. Africa Center of Excellence increased poll of researchers. And again, Cameroon opens first high-tech digital university center.
And in our health news, eating walnuts daily lowers bad cholesterol and may reduce cardiovascular diseases risk, according to a study. And also reducing sugar in packaged foods may prevent disease in millions, study finds.
We're glad you made time to join us on the AAU TV Mid-Week news. Don't go anywhere. We're bringing more news on health and higher education. Stay with us.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap under running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
Welcome back from the break and the news in detail. The Africa Higher Education Centers of Excellence, coordinated by the Association of African Universities and the Inter-University Council of East Africa, have graduated a total of 8,100 students, made up of 1,600 PhD students and 6,500 master's students since the initiative's inception in 2014, the AAU has said.
Africa Higher Education Centers of Excellence, ACE, coordinated by the Association of African Universities, AAU, and the Inter-University Council of East Africa, have graduated a total of 8,100 students, made up of 1,600 PhD students and 6,500 master's students since the initiative's inception in 2014, the AAU has told University World News. Of the graduates, 25% are women and 25% are regional students who came from institutions outside the countries where the centers are based. In addition, 16,000 students benefited from short courses offered by the centers, and they entered into 87 partnerships with other institutions and industries. Dr. Joshua Ta, the director of ICT project of the Nigerian National Universities Commission, said the project has contributed to the undertaking of world-class research by the centers involved through, among others, the provisioning of funding for procuring state-of-the-art equipment needed for laboratories and creating conducive working environments for researchers in modern building. In addition to this, the researchers and students are being trained to increase the pool of Africa's base of researchers. The significant investment that is being made into Africa's research and higher education in general has also provided opportunities in joint resource mobilization, teaching and learning, and the sharing of infrastructure and other resources.
Well, there we have it. Africa Centers of Excellence increase pool of researchers, and we had the privilege to speak to Dr. Sylvia Incandewire, who is the project manager for the AIDS Impact at AAU. Now let's listen to what she has to say.
With the African Centers of Excellence, we are supporting research in a significant way, beginning with the investments in state-of-art equipment, laboratories to enable researchers to carry out groundbreaking research. And this has also been reflected by the time we were responding to the COVID pandemic. Most of these centers really came out handy to support the research through the equipment that they have acquired in responding to such research needs. So we expect the researchers to really provide significant contribution to development challenge at national level, regional level, and international level. And we also expect them to collaborate extensively with other partners that are responding within the same thematic areas. And we also expect them to build capacity for capacity building in specific research components. So for example, if they are carrying out work in COVID, responding to the COVID issues, we expect them to engage their students in the hands-on activities. In that way, they are also building the confidence and the capacity of these students. By the time they leave, they've contributed to the pool of scientists in Africa.
Well, that was Dr. Sylvia Incandewire, ACE Project Manager at the Association of African Universities. And I'm also back here with my colleagues Agyemang and Jemima. Do you have any contributions to make?
I think Agyemang will do that for us.
Well, I want to say is, the ACEs have been a very game changer in our higher education institutions by bringing specialization to the skills that we have, scientific skills, and all disciplines that we have in our terrain. Just try to solve the basic problems, the one we have in Cape Coast, the Center for Coastal Management. So showing that the coastal management is one very important area in the Cape Coast community, and that's how perhaps the ACEs saw that okay, we can intensify and perhaps create skillful people who manage our coast. And we have the West Africa Center for
cell biology and infectious pathogens.
Exactly, and the capacity that's built to ensure that we do more research into cell biology and a whole lot. So, and I also want to say kudos to AAU for taking care of us, helping in the running of the ACEs in West Africa for about getting to a decade, 2014 to now. And then we've done the ACE 1 and still with ACE 2, and then the following, I think that we can do more and more. In our second higher education story, the first of 9 state-of-the-art digital university centers has opened in Sagbelima at the Cameroon-Congo Interstate University, with investment valued around $4.5 million US.
For University Digital Development was launched by the acting Higher Education Minister and Governor of the Sud region of Cameroon, Felix Ngwele. The center is being developed under the E-National Higher Education Network initiative of President Paul Biya. The center will be equipped with a video conference room for inter-university conferences and ultra-modern facilities for teachers to record course material and for distance education, reported the Cameroon Tribune. According to the governor, the students will study with very high technology, digital and computer support. The problem of teacher numbers and availability in universities will be resolved. Professor Marcel Foda Njodo, the Digital Center's provisional coordinator and head of the E-National Higher Education Network, said the center would heighten teachers' and students' imagination and creativity. Biya's E-National Higher Education Network aims to boost digital development of Cameroon's university. It started operating in 2016 and includes providing free laptop computers to students and the construction and equipping of 9 state-of-the-art university digital centers, one for each Cameroon state universities, as well as the Center for University Digital Development.
We have an incredible story right there from Cameroon, with the first high-tech university in Africa taking a big pace. But I just want to find out from you, what do you look ahead for, your expectations of this first digital high-tech university and its capabilities towards the students that they were training?
You know, I'll talk about, in that regard, I'll talk about some of the benefits that this e-learning is going to bring.
Sure.
I would say, first of all, e-learning will help save time and money. Wherever you are or whatever time it is, you will be able to access your materials, and I mean your learning materials, not, you know, forcefully going into the classroom, leaving your job and going into the classroom to be there to enjoy your classes. So I think in this regard, it's also going to help save substantial amount on travel. You know, some jobs will require you to travel and have meetings, have conferences, but with this digitality, it's going to actually reduce the cost on both the learners and also instructors. And I also say that it will lead to a better retention. You know, modern learners prefer a bit-sized interactive content. You know, they would rather prefer to watch videos or listen to a broadcast rather than go through pages of manual, you know, a lot of pages, big like books. 200. Exactly. They would rather want it recorded or in a video form so they can enjoy anytime or wherever they are. And you know, e-learning tools enable learning designers to make content interactive. The more engaging the content is, the more learners remember the information. And lastly, I'll say e-learning is consistent. You know, in face-to-face section, every instructor has their way of delivery, have their values, their method of teaching and all that. But with e-learning, all those things, you know, can be stopped, or let me say, if an instructor's way of teaching is not helping the students through e-learning, through videos, through broadcast, I think those things can be eliminated, and every student will have the chance to, understand whatever that is being taught in the class.
Yeah,
Splendid, splendid. So, Lydia, how well do you find this First Degree Health Center University going to transform students and prepare them for the fourth industrial revolution?
Well, I'd want to first of all say that when we talk about the fourth industrial revolution, we are basically talking about an era where everything goes digital.
Sure.
And once technology sets in, life is easier.
Exactly.
Life is faster. You do things in a more efficient way. I want to make reference to a statement made by the Cameroon Tribune. It reported that the center, the digital center, will be equipped with video conference room. It will also be equipped with ultra-modern facilities for teachers to record course materials, which will make learning and teaching very easy. And then it would also have a digital and then computer support systems as part of the center, which also makes teaching and then learning very easy. So basically, with technology infused in education, we are going to have students who would have more ease learning. Would have more efficient and convenient ways of learning.
Sure.
And in turn, we are going to produce students who are well versed in the digital world, and students who also have digital solutions to problems.
Exactly. I think it's the first of its kind to have a fully furbished technology university that's high-tech, video conferencing, supercomputer facilities, and any more. I think we should perhaps have other universities emulate them because they are taking it to a whole different level. Our universities should do the same thing. So just stay with us as we bring you health news for this short break. Stay with us.
Welcome to GTP Health and Safety Corner. If you feel like stepping out, remember social distancing. You might just save a life. Rock at home, stay at home, stay safe. Wash your hands with soap under running water. Spaced out but still in touch. Check in on your loved ones and stay safe. GTP, timeless.
Welcome back from the break, and in our health news, healthy older adults who ate a handful of walnuts, about half cup a day for 2 years, modestly lowers their level of low density lipoprotein.
Eating about half cup of walnuts every day for 2 years modestly lowered levels of low density lipoprotein cholesterol, known as bad cholesterol, and reduce the number of total low-density lipoprotein particles and small low-density lipoprotein particles in healthy older adults, according to new research. Walnuts are a rich source of omega-3 fatty acids, which have been shown to have a beneficial effect on cardiovascular health. Prior studies have shown that nuts in general, and walnuts in particular, are associated with lower rates of heart disease and stroke. One of the reasons is that they lower low-density lipoprotein cholesterol levels and improve the quality of low-density lipoprotein particles. In a sub-study of walnuts and healthy aging study, a large 2-year randomized controlled trial examining whether walnuts contribute to healthy aging, researchers evaluated if regular walnut consumption, regardless of a person's diet or where they live, has beneficial effect on lipoproteins. A study was conducted involving 708 participants between the ages of 63 and 79, with 68% of women who were healthy, independent living adults residing in Barcelona, Spain, and Loma Linda, California. Participants were randomly divided into two groups, active intervention and control. Those allocated into the intervention group added about a half cup of walnut to their usual daily diet, while participants in the control group abstained from eating walnuts. After 2 years, participants' cholesterol levels were tested, and the concentration of size of lipoproteins were analyzed by nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy. The study had a 90% retention rate, with 632 participants completed in the study. Complete lipoprotein analysis were available in 628, and some key findings were that participants in the walnut group had lower LDL cholesterol levels. Daily cholesterol levels of walnuts reduce the number of total LDL particles, and these particle concentration and composition are associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. LDL cholesterol changes among the walnut group differed by sex. In men, LDL cholesterol fell by 7.9% and in women by 2.6%. According to the American Heart Association, walnuts are especially high in omega-3 fatty acids, the same heart-healthy fat found in oily fish. A serving size is a small handful or 1.5 ounces of walnuts or 2 tablespoons of nut butter. The study was funded by the California Walnut Commission.
That is an interesting story right there. But even though walnuts are healthy for the heart, they contain high levels of calories, which may lead to obesity. What do you think about this?
Well, what walnuts, as you've said, has a wealth of the good kind of fat in it.
Exactly.
Specifically the polyunsaturated fat, which are way better than the saturated fat. However, the study is saying that people who take in too much walnuts are more likely to be obese.
Yes.
Now, I want to read something very short from a study that has been medically reviewed and also published by one Angela Nelson, which says taking in 1 serving of walnuts has the following nutritional profile. The first is 185 calories, 2.5 grams of monosaturated fat, 1.7 grams of saturated fat, 3.9 grams of carbohydrates, 1.9 grams of fiber, and 7 grams of sugar. Basically, these makes perfect, making reference to this finding, it makes perfect sense that the study is saying if you take in too much walnuts, you are high likely to be obese.
Exactly.
So basically.
Agyemang.
It's quite a bit confusing, because walnuts not generally contain omega-3 fatty acids compared to omega-6, which if you compare these two classes of fats, you would prefer, or scientifically it's preferred to go for omega-3 because it's much more flexible in terms of its causing or increasing your decreasing your cholesterol.
Exactly.
And there are much more benefits that you can get from nuts, as Lydia mentioned, that these are great sources of nutrients for you. They also are loaded with so much antioxidants, which are also good for your body. Sometimes aids in weight loss. So if walnuts or nuts in general can aid in weight loss, it means that it's not about the nutrients, it's about the quantity that you take at a time. The study said half a cup of walnuts, which is added to your diet on a daily basis, can go a long way to help you reduce inflammation, boost, give you benefits when you have diabetes, even type 2 diabetes, and also give you all the nutrients you need, and also reduce inflammation in the body. It's very important. So I think the quantity that we need to be very careful of, so we don't increase the fat in the body and then cause us the other things, the risk of cardiovascular, other things we don't want to get.
Okay. But then I would also want us to talk about some benefits, other benefits of taking the walnuts.
As Lydia mentioned, it's rich in fiber, proteins, healthy fats. Omega-3 is a healthy fat for the body compared to omega-6. Some minerals and vitamins that's good for the body. So I think it's good comparably.
Well, to add up, some studies have also shown that eating walnuts can help lower bad cholesterols, just like this current study says. Also, it has the potential to ease the type of inflammation that leads to heart diseases. And finally, eating walnuts also helps cut your odds of some types of cancers.
Okay, that's interesting. So moving on. Cutting 20% of sugar from packaged foods and 40% from beverages could prevent 2.48 million cardiovascular diseases, according to a new study.
Cutting 20% of sugar from packaged foods and 40% from beverages could prevent 2.48 million cardiovascular disease events, such as strokes, heart attacks, cardiac arrest, according to a study. A team of researchers created a model to simulate and quantify the health, economic, and equity impacts of the pragmatic sugar reduction policy proposed by the U.S. National Salt and Sugar Reduction Initiative, NSSRI. This February, National Salt and Sugar Reduction Initiative finalized the policy with the goal of industry voluntarily committing to gradually reformulate their sugary products. Reducing the sugar content of commercially prepared foods and beverages will have a larger impact on the health of Americans than other initiatives to cut sugar, such as imposing a sugar tax, labeling added sugar content, or banning sugary drinks in schools. The researchers found that the NSSRI policy became cost-effective at 6 years and cost-saving at 9 years. The policy could also reduce disparities, with the greatest estimated health gains among Black and Hispanic adults and Americans with lower income and less education, populations that consume the most sugar as a historical consequence of inequality. The researchers found that the NSSRI policy became cost-effective at 6 years and cost-saving at 9 years. The policy could also reduce disparities, with the greatest estimated health gains among Black and Hispanic adults and Americans with lower income and less education, populations that consume the most sugar as a historical consequence of inequitable systems. Product reformulation efforts have been shown to be successful in reducing other harmful nutrients such as trans fats and sodium. Consuming sugary foods and beverages is strongly linked to obesity and diseases such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular disease. More than 2 in 5 American adults are obese, 1 in 2 have diabetes or prediabetes, and nearly 1 in 2 have cardiovascular disease, with those from lower income groups being disproportionately burdened.
This is another interesting story. Yeah. But according to the study, consuming sugary foods and beverages is strongly linked to obesity and disease such as type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases. What do we think about this?
That sugar is one very, very, very delicate substance that actually gives us so much joy. It also takes us to our grave very quickly. So I call it the sweet danger of sugar. Sugar is has a bittersweet reputation in the human health, in a sense that we consume sugar in almost everything we eat. Carbohydrates, anything you eat has carbohydrate has sugar in it.
Exactly.
And also all the processed foods that we see at the malls that we like to drink, the beverages, the fizzy drinks, all have some sugar components in them. So you wonder yourself, processed foods against natural foods, which ones contain the ideal kind of sugar for you? We can't do without sugar. So we have to consume sugar the right way or the ideal way. Some people would like to go by the natural means, would take more fruits and take the ideal amount of sugar which the body will need than going for the processed food that has more added sugar. And these products cannot do with the sugar because to have the sweet looking juice on the shelves, I mean they are sweetened with sugar for flavor and also for longevity. So you can't stop them from doing that. But I would say kudos to the
Agyemang, don't you think much as we can't stop them from doing that, they can at least reduce the levels of sugar used?
I'm coming to that. Will you take a zero sugar fizzy drink?
Well,
for a birthday party,
maybe a limited.
I'm never doing that.
Surprisingly, according to a research that was conducted by one Dr. Frank, who at the Harvard Medical School, said that in a daily average of sugar consumed by a man or by a man is 24 tablespoons or teaspoons full
a day.
24 a day.
Just one day.
One day, daily. So if that's for men, how much more women do? You can do better, right? Women can do better, right? So you see, that is why we have so much high rates of women actually have better risk of getting diabetes. And eventually, too much sugar in your body can increase your risk of heart disease. So I think that consuming sugar is quite inevitable. I wouldn't say that we can stop consuming sugar, but we should actually know the right kind of sugar that we want to consume. Is it the added sugars or we want to go the natural way? If you don't want the natural way too, we have the National Salt and Sugar Reduction Initiative in the USA who are actually standing up that we are tired of having so many people report to the hospitals in the name of diabetes or cardiovascular disease. So we are trying to urge all of you producers or manufacturers that reduce the quantity of sugar in your beverages. Can we do that in Africa? I'm putting a challenge to the FDA, a challenge to the Standards Board, that if we also care for our people in this country, we should speak to our industries who have high amount of sugar. Look at the beverages nowadays. The typical Ghanaian diet today.
Exactly.
But Agyemang, so let's say these manufacturers refuse to reduce the sugar levels in their produce. I think it has more to do with we the individuals consuming it. if the manufacturers and producers have refused to reduce the intake of sugar, you are the one going to suffer the consequences. So you should probably consider taking it in moderation.
You know, I bet to differ humbly because we have the FDA, the
We
Food
do.
and Drugs
They would
Authority, right?
approve.
FDA thinks that sugar is good for us,
So-
perhaps.
No,
no.
I think FDA
No,
can do
no,
better
no.
because
Certainly.
the apparatus of diabetes and also cardiovascular disease in Ghana alone is unbearable.
Well, that's true.
And these are all due to the sugars. So I think we can do better on that.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
can do better on that. It's a challenge.
Yeah, it's a
though.
challenge. We can do better, but still, I say people should reduce the number of times they take in sugary food and also taking a lot of fruits. And that is all for the news today. And in wrapping up, let's take a quick recap of our headlines. On higher education, the Africa Center of Excellence increased poll of researchers. And also, Cameroon opens first high-tech digital university center.
And in our health news, eating walnuts daily lowers bad cholesterol and may reduce cardiovascular disease risk, according to a research. And also, reducing sugar in packaged foods can prevent disease in millions, study finds.
And now, thank you for watching the AAU TV Mid-Week News as we keep you informed. My name is Lydia Nyame.
And I am Jemima Deladem Dotsey.
My name is Agyemang, Okyere, Darko. We're glad you spent time with us on the AAU TV Mid-Week News. Keep staying with us, watch more programs, and stay safe, all right?